Yes, ma'am, I know.
And they sometimes call you nomads.
She don't look like it right now. She's looking like shit. This was a mistake. I miss my toilet right now. Hey everyone, support our Patreon, which helps us to continue bringing you our live streams, videos, and podcasts while bringing you new content such as exclusive live streams and animated shorts. We talked about one award nominee a little while ago that a lot of people say, why was that nominated for something? I don't understand that. That just goes to show me
that's right.
The award shows are full of shit. But maybe with this next film right here, now that one, you're talking about that dumb shit over there. Now this right here, this is what we're talking about. This is an awards-worthy movie. At least that's what people are saying. The movie we're talking about is Nomadland. In Nomadland, we get Frances McDormand. She plays Fern. She had a nice, humble life in Empire, Nevada. If you live in Empire, Nevada, your life ain't good. You just don't know it. I can tell you that right now. You just don't know any better.
Right.
Fern, listen, honestly, I wish more people could be like her. Fern had a humble life and she was happy for it. More people should be like Fern. Fern, she was a substitute teacher. Her husband, Bo, was a worker at United States Gypsum Corporation. That was a company that made sheetrock. Now, apparently Empire, Nevada, they existed solely on sheetrock because once that company folded, the town fucking died. It went from population 4,000 something to zero.
I mean, that happens a lot. There'll be a company town, a town that springs up just because of the industry that's there. And when that's gone, that's it.
And when the town died, Fern's husband, Bo, did too. Apparently, their existence was connected to each other.
He faded away.
But at this point, Fern has nothing left. She leaves her home because there ain't no home there anymore. She leaves everything behind. Doesn't try to look for anything new except the open road. She's got a shitty van, and she goes out there to just go across America and see what she can see while living free. As I said, this is a movie that's been touted about as an Oscar-worthy film and probably some other awards out there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer for Nomadland.
Yes, ma'am, I know.
And they sometimes call you nomads.
She don't look like it right now. She's looking like shit. This was a mistake. I miss my toilet right now. I'm shitting in holes in the ground and everything. But this is what this is about, the life of nomads. We'll talk about that. That's one of the things I will say that's interesting about this is telling about lifestyle a lot of people don't know about.
My mom says that you're homeless. Is that true?
No, I'm not homeless. I'm just houseless. Not the same thing, right?
No.
No, you homeless. You ain't got no home. You homeless. You have a van. You know, you are not vanless. That's true, but you are homeless.
I mean, she is houseless. It's just that if you just stop right there, you go like, oh, and walk away, it sounds fine. But if you ask her just two more questions, you like, oh, holy shit.
Yeah.
My husband worked at the USG mine in Empire.
I'll see you again.
If you look up any reviews of this movie, if you hear some people talking about this movie, you'll hear a couple of words that are used, such as poetic, contemplative. And when you hear those words, that's when you come in and say, stop bullshitting. That means boring. I ain't never seen a movie that was described as poetic or contemplative, where the movie was, I'll put it kindly, wasn't taking its time.
Oh, you forgot one. A meditation on.
Yeah, exactly. Motherfucker, when somebody meditates, they're the most boring person to hang with. All right? Listen, I'm just telling you like it is, because when people put those words out there, they put those words out like that's supposed to make you like the shit more. You know, I'm using those nice, big, critical words out there. And it's like, no, when you hear those things, you always, as a regular movie viewer, whenever you hear those words, you usually put some shit down like, nope, not for me. That means I'm going to sleep. But the shit is slow. And you have, like I said, you have yet to see a movie where when those words are used, it's not slow. Now, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I just want to get that out the way before we start getting comments from people saying, man, I ain't watching this shit. This shit looks boring. And you know what? To some, it will be. Have to say that. But this is where we come in and say, not all movies are meant to be the same in all kind of categories, and are meant to be to fit to one person's description. I only have a problem when a movie does something. They set a certain pace. They set a certain tone. They set a certain narrative, and it doesn't work. Even if a movie is slow, if that movie's used to, if a movie's pacing, slow pacing is put to the usefulness of that film, it's what it's supposed to be, it's effective for what it is, then okay, I'm cool with that, man. That's what this movie does here. There's a certain lifestyle that is here that this movie wants to immerse you into, and I think that the approach of taking his time with it is what works for it. This is based off of a book, actually. It's Jessica Bruder's Nomadland. And this is also directed by, and this is something that should be mentioned, it's also directed by Chloe Zhao. And why this is interesting is because this is such a, as we say, a poetic meditation of a contemplative film that you wonder what did Marvel see when they hired her for the Eternals? It's the same woman that's doing that. And I don't know, because this is the anti-Marvel. It's even the anti-Hollywood movie. Until Hollywood says we need something to get an Oscar, then we go for the slowest and most contemplative shit that we can find. You know, but at that point, you know, if you're judging a movie just because it's slow, then nobody should criticize you for that. Movies of different types are made for everybody. And if you were somebody who is a Marvel fan, you know, if you're somebody who's looking forward to this woman's movies, this movie's movie, The Eternals, then wait for her movie, The Eternals, to come out. Definitely don't come see this right here. Besides all the Nevada vistas that we have here and the great cinematography that just wants to like show you what they're doing here with that. It's focusing on a lifestyle that not many of us are familiar with, and that is the nomadic lifestyle. A lot of us don't know anything about this. Yes, we know people get in RVs and they tour the country and whatnot, but this really does take an in-depth look at why these people are doing it for several reasons. You know, that now they say up front that these are people who choose to live their life from the constraints of quote unquote, you know, normal society, you know, having a soul crushing occupation or employment, being held down by debt or being held down by a mortgage. These people are saying, I'd rather take a van and go out there and be free from all that. Now I have to work every now and then odd jobs to do this, but that's a small price to pay or play into when once that job is done at Amazon or maybe some tourist shop or whatever. They find odd things to do for short periods of time. I'll do it for that period of time and then I will move on with my life until I have to make money again. Absolutely love these kind of movies right here. But I'll let Martin take it, and Martin might even tell me about myself.
No. Seeing it, I know you would love it, and I love this element about it also, is that a lot of it is with people who are not actors. I mean, they get people who are actually nomads or just other people, and it makes it feel authentic. And Frances McDormand's character, Fern, she presents the other spectrum of people who are kind of forced into this lifestyle where she lost everything. Now, this is she's sort of the avatar for the audience, because unless you are a person who has already decided I'm a tour the country and fuck society, I'm living off the grid, you can see yourself being more like her, where things just don't work out. Town is packed up, husband's died, you're too old to really get employment and it's underemployed. And that feeling of that America, at least American industry, has left you by. Capitalism has not been, a fan to you. And now here you are on the fringe and just getting out of there out of necessity. And yes, the movie is slow and it might be boring to some people, but it's almost like that's what the lifestyle is.
Yes.
And I found myself not bored because when we start with Fern, she's in distress. Like, this is not really something she chose to do, but it's just out of necessity. So you're there with her, watching her struggle, and just that feeling of dread the whole time. Like, how is she going to do this? Which is basically ask the question, how can I do this? I'm going to live in a van. I'm going to shit in a bucket. Where am I going to get food and fresh water? Where am I going to go to a real bathroom or wash up? Where do I park? That's a thing you got to worry about every day. You park somewhere, I'm asleep, and store manager comes out and goes like, yeah, you can't do that here. I'm sorry. Got to keep going. And then just on her journey of meeting these people who embrace this lifestyle, like you said, Corey, it lifts the veil on a sub-society that none of us really know about.
I mean, the movie even tells you, they educate you like, hey, if you're looking at this and you decide you want to go shit in the bucket and live in a dirty ass van, hey, we got the man to talk to. They bring in like the guru of nomads out there. They got a dude named Bob Wells. What's so cool about this is that you can leave this movie, and if you even look, maybe you don't want to live the nomadic lifestyle, but if you're curious about it, you can go and find people who talk about it, and they put up like this guy Bob Wells. You can go and find videos of him right now where he's telling you how and why he's living this lifestyle.
Welcome back, folks. Here we are again. Cassie, better to start with a minivan or just get a van?
I tell you, Hollywood is so full of shit on so many levels, and there's so much emphasis put on. I get it. It's a business structure, so you have to have these things to kind of make the system run better. I understand. Sometimes that system enables rapists, but we're not going to talk about that right now. But, they have an emphasis on who do you know, who can vouch for you, who's your agent, how'd you get in here, are you the talk of the town right now? And all of that is bullshit, man. All of that is bullshit. They have one of the most emotionally wrenching scenes in it. Well, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but one of the movies that's very one of the scenes in this movie that's very touching is with Bob Wells. This guy is not a quote unquote Hollywood actor. And he has a scene in here where he's describing like a very tragic part of his life, and it's right up there with any other fucking A-list actor that you can talk about. And I'm telling you that, I'm not saying this as a biased person. I'm telling you that as somebody who looked him up. I'm like, wow, man, I thought this guy was an actor in the movie up until a certain point. And even those points where I knew he wasn't an actor, I said, well, it's just adding to the authenticity of this film. This is what I love about anti-Hollywood movies, man. It comes in and shows you that these movies don't have to be made in a system that pushes the bullshit of somebody who needs to keep their job or validate their job. You can bring in anybody. If you're a good director, if you're somebody who's good in front of a camera, then anything can happen. It doesn't have to be because the system says it has to be that way.
Well, there's something about getting foreign directors for certain things. I think of Steve McQueen with 12 Years a Slave, and Ang Lee with Brokeback Mountain, and now Chloe Zhao with this movie, Nomadland, where they're looking at America without the same filter we do. So there's no feeling like I need to sentimentalize this. They're just like going like, well, this is what I see. And it's like, shit, you just kind of put it out there raw. And that it really is how it is.
Yeah, no, that is how it is. And what it does is, that's why I say that, when you have a movie that's slow paced like this, when you have a movie that takes real people and put them out there, like this movie does. Sure, I thought you were going to talk more. I'm chewing a cherry. I'm like, God damn, he wrapped this shit up real quick. I'm like,
I try to be succinct.
No, man,
And I use the word succinct a lot.
It adds to the authenticity of the movie, and it justifies why it's moving at the pace that it is. The movie... Yeah. Again, a movie should not always... There's different ways to make a film. The movie calls attention to itself, and in good ways. The director is a star director, and you know his signature, the auteur signature, whatever. You watch a Quentin Tarantino movie, his direction's almost as present as the actors are. What'd you say?
His direction is a character in the movie.
Is a character in the movie, yeah. But there are some movies where they say, you know what, we're just going to We're directed well, we're shot well, but we're just going to let everything else speak for itself. The scenes will speak for themselves. You, in this particular project, you should not feel like the camera's there. And when they focus on these real people, you feel like you are there immersed in this lifestyle and you're just learning about it. You're not living with them. You haven't been there before, but you just got there and you feel like you're learning with these people. In addition to Bob Wells, he used so many different nomads in here. I really love Linda May, who's known as a popular nomad. I like the way that dog is like, fuck this, I need a home. Give me a fucking right. That dog like, Jesus Christ, get me out of here, man. Been riding this fucking van for years now. Help me. But somebody said, oh, dog's eyes are crazy. And also, when I say the movie speaks for itself, it lets you come in and you judge this lifestyle for itself. It's not a pro or con argument for the nomadic lifestyle. What I loved about this is that, you know, it leaves you to read into this for yourself, what this is. Many of these nomads, you know, they say they escaped into society because they just want to be free of capitalism. They didn't want to be held down by what people said that they should be like because society has taught us that. This mindset that's very restraining. But a lot of these people are victims of the recession. Some of them are not out there by choice. They'll tell you, oh, it's about the road, man, and freedom. I just let go. No, it's like you lost all your shit and you didn't have nothing else.
And now you have to rationalize it. Which, like, hey, man, if I was out there, I'd try to find a way to make it like, no, this is better. Because it's funny because you say the movie doesn't pick one side or the other. Yeah. I think it strongly picks both sides because there's times when it really does try to seduce you into it. With everybody waxing poetically on the lifestyle and all these beautiful vistas. And it's almost like, yeah, man, maybe they're on to something. Get off the rat race and get out there. And yet it'll turn around and when they show them working for pennies at an Amazon warehouse and begging to get that job or shit in a bucket, I'm like, no, a big fuck that.
They talk about freedom. I'm free to do whatever I want to do. I'm free on the open road. I'm not constrained to society. Then why the fuck you clean the hamburger grill wearing that stupid hat? I know you don't want to do this shit. Why you clean up shit and vomit off of a toilet? Now, I'm not saying that that's bad or good. I'm saying, like, you know, the movie lets you decide. They're not trying to convince you one way or another. As I said, maybe that's a small price to pay for the months of freedom that they do get. Or it leaves you to decide, are these people, as you say, Martin, rationalizing? Are they lying to themselves? Who knows, man? I mean, they're describing in the movie. There's a woman who's describing shit in a bucket like it's fun. And it's like, is it really? Is it? I don't know, man. I'd rather shit on a toilet right now. One of them nice Japanese one that like wipes your ass for you and keeps your cheeks warm. But I'm spoiled and maybe I'm not built for this other shit. But the movie leaves it to that. Is it fun? Who knows? Also, I like, the movie shows you that when you are living this lifestyle, there's a lot of things you got to look out for. Because you're right. What I liked about it, Martin, when you say it seduces you into it, man, it turns around and shows you like stakes are high. You don't know what you're getting into, and you really got to think about every little thing. That shit that you take for granted on the road, when you get a flat tire, change it, call AAA, get somebody to fix it. That's fine. But when that's your home, that could
be into your lifestyle.
In your lifestyle, if it costs $5,000 to fix that van and you don't get it back, then guess what? You really are homeless after that.
What we've got is parts and labor, $2,300 and tax.
And just look like fuck. She's like, shit.
Shit, that's me now, and I got a house.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm on some shit without wheels. Huh? Shit, if my house goes flat, what am I gonna do?
The value on your van with that high of mileage, you're looking about $5,000 at the most.
I live in there. It's my home.
It's a different thing when it's your home, man. You lose everything. Most of us, I've seen people leave cars on the side of the road. You can't do that when that's your home. It really does show that. It shows you the little things that really matter, man, such as, you hang on to small valuables. To show you how much the little things mean to these people who don't have a whole lot, and what they are traveling with, they treasure. The most intense scene in this movie is when somebody drops a plate. And I was like, oh shit. Now, dropping a plate any other time is like, all right, so what? We'll get another one. Clean it up, we'll get another one. I would throw it away, Nah, man, it's the little things that really matter. They broke some plates in here, and it was heartbreaking when you saw that. And, the movie really does, it does a good job at turning around and showing you how much of a risk these people are taking doing this lifestyle, which brings the question, how many people are here by choice? Because if you really calculate and weigh out all these risks, it's like, man, some people really are doing it because they want it. And it is very alluring. It's like, man, I admire these people. And some of them are doing it because they are truly free. But some of these people who are not here by choice, it makes you really, really feel concerned for them, man.
Your heart goes out to them. I mean, early on, I just felt like, oh, man. It really got me, especially, going through Fern's journey. It just, I got a little teary early on because I was like, she's just trying so hard, and it's not easy. And you could just tell she's not somebody who's doing this voluntarily.
Nope. Nah, man. I mean, look, it's just my kind of movie, man. There are so many other images in here that are wild, man. I don't know. I would love to. I tried to do some research in the short amount of time that I had to do before this show, and I wasn't able to find it. But I was wondering, looking at some things here, like they show you so much that feels like real life. So when Fern goes back to this town, I don't know. You tell me. Maybe this is how stupid I am. I don't know, man. Empire, is that a real city? I don't know. But there's scenes where she went back to the old factory. She went back to her old neighborhood, and it's a ghost town. And just seeing those images and the way they do them, they're so convincing. I don't know if it's real or not, but I was like, man, you know what? I never thought about that. We've seen apocalyptic movies where cities are desolated and empty and whatnot, but it was just something very eerie about seeing a neighborhood just empty, man, because it was wiped out by one business, sheetrock.
Well, there's parts of Detroit that happened with GM and then Flint, Michigan. So while there might not be a town called Empire, there are empires around the Midwest.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. Frances McDormand is great, man. The thing about Frances McDormand, you look at something like this, is a very quiet performance. So it's easy to take for granted that she doesn't have to do much. But we're talking about a 2-time Oscar winner right here. Frances McDormand, who won an Oscar for, of course, Fargo. That's her first one. And then she won for 3 Billboards. What was it? 3 Billboards?
Over Ebbing, Missouri.
Over Ebbing, yeah, exactly, man. So we've seen, in addition to that, now still no love for Darkman. People still overlook that. I love Darkman. A lot of people still forget that Frances McDormand was the main squeeze of Darkman himself. But we've seen this woman do all these different performances, different dynamics. So when we see her do a quiet performance like this, we know that this is a skilled actress who puts in certain nuances here. And this is not anything she's not quiet because she can't handle dialogue. She's quiet because she knows how to handle silence. And silence is something how to handle too. You know how to handle too.
Frances McDormand, even when she was young, like from Fargo on, she's been one of those actresses who can really act a lot with her face, with just the expressions she can make. And you just get to know her, and just little things, you can see how they affect her. And as she's gotten older, and this is not a slam, it's just that she's older, there's more wrinkles or characters to her face. It's given her more that she can do. It's like it's put more tools in her box. And it's a quiet performance, but it's one of those where, when the Oscars come around, you can see how it's going to be her and Carey Mulligan and Viola Davis, fighting for that award.
Yeah. Don't let that overshadow David Strathairn.
Strathairn.
What is it?
Strathairn.
David Strathairn, who's an Oscar nominee himself. You probably recognize him. He's a character actor mostly, but he plays another nomad who's trying to get some of that nomad love from
right.
Man, that fool was working hard for that shit too.
He was working hard. He's waiting months at a time.
Somebody even told him, like, hey man, I got a fucking house for you, a mansion ready to go. Like, no, I'm trying to get this homeless ass ready.
Hello, coffee?
That fool don't even drink coffee. But he gonna get some. That motherfucker don't even like coffee.
Hey man, it's lonely on the road.
Yeah, she is.
Yes.
Fern.
Yes. Black. So if you want anything, you got to put it in. So see ya.
Yeah, have a good day.
I'm your camp host.
You like, shit, do ass come with that coffee, man? You know what's going on with this, and the reason why, I'll tell you the reason why they're really great in this is because, you know, when we think about Oscar winning performances, we're thinking about that clip they show at the Oscar Awards, you know, with the one where everybody's screaming. They choose the most bombastic clip, you know, where somebody like, it was me, okay, it was me. You know, nobody wants that kind of shit. You know, the reason why this is so subtle performances are great, they're here with the real nomadic society. And their acting requires them to convince you that they fit in. And you lose moments where you do feel like they are nomads like them. You do feel like they're real down-to-earth people like they are, even though we know that they're actors and actresses here. If I had any criticism for this, it's a simple criticism. It's one of the simplest criticisms that I've given before, and you'll hear me say again. My criticism would be that it's too long. I think that an hour 15 would have been fine. It's probably for me 15 minutes too long.
An hour and 15. That's
I'm sorry, an hour and 40. I'm sorry, It's an hour and 47 minutes with the credits right here. But I'm like, you know, shave 15 minutes off, because there are some scenes while I'm immersed. There are some scenes where I'm like, all right, you know what? I get it. I don't need to see her walking in the dirt. I don't need to see her walking in towns anymore. Shit, you know, I get it. I understand. I got it. Yeah, I mean, some of these scenes are going on just a little bit too long. That dude's playing that piano for too long. But small complaint. Like I tell you, these movies are my thing. You know, I like all kind of films, but I really love movies where they feel authentic because they have some real people in there. You put some real people in there and the material's good that you use them in, you got me, man. I love it. But I have the bonus of like having some insight on this society, this movement, these people. And I have it without having the director, you know, hey, what you think about that? They making you cry now? But hey, they make you think? Yeah. And it's like, no, you put the camera there and you let them do their thing and let me make up my own mind. Yeah, and that's why I say this is not for everybody, but people, you know, we do reviews. People see something, they're like, man, that's boring, I ain't watching that, you know. And there's no problem if you don't want to. I really don't think that everybody needs to see this movie. They don't. It's a kind of an art house film, and those movies are definitely not for everybody. But if I've said anything that appeals to you here, if any of this has piqued your interest, it's at least worth a look. Yeah, this is a full price for me. I really did like this movie a lot.
Yeah, the movie can be sad and melancholy, but not because it's pushing that so much. It's just the situation is what it is. I liked it quite a bit too, especially that there's so much of it that felt authentic. Like you, it did feel like it dragged. Like it's almost like an hour and 45 minutes. It's hard to go like, man, it's too long. But it did at times feel like it dragged, even for being a slow movie like it is. And while it's not story driven, I suppose toward the end where it was kind of coming to, you know, a story, a wrap up, I didn't care for that as much as I did the rest of the movie. Mm-hmm. It just felt a little too neat. Like, let's put a bow on this to send everybody home. And if you are of a mind to see it, I definitely would recommend it. And it's, you know, the accolades it's getting, the awards it's possibly up for, I don't have a problem. But I totally see why it would get that. Yeah. So yeah, it would be a full price for me also. Maybe on the lower end, but still full price. Yeah, it's kind of same with me here. You know, and that some people, you know, the people are so good in this that it was hard for me to tell who's an actor and who isn't. They got this kid here, and I say kid, he's just a young actor, man. And I don't know. If he's not an actor, you know, I can see Hollywood coming in and saying, man, who was that homeless kid? I don't know this guy's name. His acting is mature beyond his years, it feels like, and I like that character a lot. Do you remember the homeless guy the nomad guy, whatever you want to call him, that she met? She shared beers with him, cigarettes with him. I really like this guy, man. Yeah. I don't know his name, but I really like that kid, man. So yeah, people,
Go see that. But you know, if you used to seeing like fucking people turn to cars and capes and shit like that, then you know, come on. We let's be honest. We know who's for what. You know, we're more in the dramatic art house realm now. And if that is not your world, then you know, stay the fuck away from this. If you have any interest at all, then cool. It's worth a look.
It's worth checking out.
Yeah. Ain't gonna be mad after you come back and say, Corey, you full of shit. You made me waste an hour and 45 minutes of my time. I'm like, sorry, you know, I get it.
Man, Corey, that movie was boring.